You know, today's Democrat Party has got to be some of the most bloodthirsty, race baiting, manipulating individuals on the face of the earth. I mean, demonic. Black folks, do you know why they want you guys to join into this fight about illegal immigrants? Even though it's against your better interests, but we all know that you fight for Democrats against your better interests on a daily anyway. But think about this, because this is truly not our fight, right? I mean, no matter how much, fear mongering and gaslighting liberals do, this is not your fight. I'm going to tell you, they want you to join this fight because they're hoping that one of you are killed while you're protesting. They're hoping that one of you are hurt during this obstruction of federal law, because they know that if that happens, you will have another George Floyd. You would have another Michael Brown. You would have another Tamir Rice. You will have a kind of situation to where they will use your hurt, your trauma, your pain to burn this country to the ground. This is why those black gatekeepers in the Democrat Party keep trying to push the masses of blacks to join in this fight. Even though it is obvious that illegal immigrants are flooding in your communities, they're taking your resources, they're raping and killing your children. So why would this be your fight? You look at Minneapolis, the Somalian community constantly tells you that they're not black. But now, because they need your help, they need your blood, they need your fight, now they're black. While they robbed this country blind for years, and you couldn't even get childcare. They're running businesses in your community, and you can't get a piece of the pie. This is not your fight. They want you to get hurt. That's why I have a problem with the Democrat Party.
Hey, YouTube fam, welcome back to Global Info with T, where we stir the pot responsibly. Now let's talk about a family reunion nobody asked for. Black MAGA versus left. Yes.
I've seen quite a few posts lately with leftists, really, the ones on the far end, and hang on with me because I'm going to show this in a visual in a second, but the ones on the really far end starting to call the rest of the blue spectrum blue MAGA. And I've made a couple videos about this, a couple posts, and I've still got some particularly white women pushing back and going, but, don't you understand what they want? No, we understand what they want. We just want it without causing more harm. More harm here and more harm to the people abroad in peacetime. Y'all, hinged your vote on that, and you still can't explain to me why, if that was your one voting issue, why then did you vote in a way or non-vote in a way and convince other people to non-vote in a way that was guaranteed to cause more harm under that G-side umbrella? Not only cause more harm there and finish them off, but all the harm we're seeing here to our own black and brown and disenfranchised and vulnerable populations. But that's a whole other TikTok. For now, let's dive into the graphics, because I'm a graphics girl. This is my quick little take on this. It's not pretty at all, but you can see we've got centrists, and it's not even. It's supposed to be even. Excuse my lopsided artwork here. But the way I see it is you've got your centrists in the middle, right? This is the left spectrum. That's the right. Okay, we all got that. And then you've got your kind of independents, that you've got your left-leaning independents and your right-leaning independents, and then the centrists in the middle. And then you've kind of got your big group of what you would call establishment, your regular old mom and pop Republicans. And then on the very end, we've got MAGA, right? All right, keep following me, guys. So then as you go to the left, technically, you've got what I would say is another cut over here. Technically, progressives and Democrats should have their own cut, but I lumped them together to keep this simple. So you've got, past those left-leaning independents, you dump into your establishment Democrats, which you can argue are becoming further and further and further to the center. And even, if you talk about the Overton window and stuff like that, yeah, that's, like I said, that's a whole other TikTok. So I agree with most people that Democrats, while they have been doing left things, like we have healthcare now, we're making strides in different places. Like we were going in the right direction, even though there's a ton of problems here. Don't get me wrong. Like the car is definitely janky and broke. But the car is there and it's filled with your establishments. And then kind of to the left of that is your progressive Democrats. And then all the way over here is the leftists. So we got the leftists on the end of the left spectrum, which are the furthest left people we have, the most radical people. I'm not saying you're radical in a bad way, because I agree. Most of the people here agree with everything these people want almost. Minus the whole anarchy part. Like, people just, we're not tribal. Like, that's the one thing I think we'll argue against here is like, we can't burn it all down and then just, have pure, discombobulation and anarchy. There needs to be a little bit of combobulation there. So, if you see where I'm going with this, these guys are now trying to come out in feeds all over social media platforms, not just TikTok, and call the rest of these folks blue MAGA, which I think is fucking hilarious, given the fact that for the most part, we've been referencing, the rest of us here have been calling these guys blue MAGA. Why? Because, if we just want to keep it right here to the, to the graphic, they are exactly data-wise, exactly mirrors what they have on the right. It's their fringe minority down at the end. You guys are the fringe minority down at the end. You guys want what you want at all costs, no matter who you hurt. That's what happened in this last contest in 2024. Y'all threw your, a fit. You didn't get exactly 100% of everything you wanted in any of the progressive candidates. And then you're not willing to, when a progressive candidate or a Democratic Socialist candidate comes through and they don't win in the primaries, you guys throw a fit. You're unwilling to come to any kind of compromise to save people from harm. What y'all did was say, well, fuck it. We're going to sit out then. And not only are we going to sit out, but we're going to convince a bunch of these people that both sides are exactly the same and they should sit out too. So that's what happened in 2024. You guys aren't why we lost the election. You guys peddling your propaganda bullshit that both sides are exactly the same when they're not. I get how they're the same in a lot of areas. There's a lot of overlap there. But one side is definitely fascist and the other side is not. Like, can you seriously look me in the face and tell me that Kamala Harris would be in office right now, gunning people down in their homes and shooting them in the face on the street? Be for fucking real right now. So you're taken away from your argument here by trying to paint both of these guys as the same when they're not in that sense. And you guys spend so much time. Well, let me back up. You guys were willing to do all that no matter who you hurt. They're willing to do all that no matter who they hurt. Actually, they want to hurt. At least they're like willing to step up and say that now. Whereas you guys just keep deflecting blame and going, because Democrats made me. Like, just own it. Own it. If that's your position, then own it. And then start putting your people up. Like, where are all the people that we're supposed to start repping and pushing for the midterms? Where are they? These people here want to hear from you guys in that respect. And it's fucking crickets so far. So this group is starting to put people up. And who knows what the hell y'all are going to do. Like, I don't even know anymore. But I don't need you guys to peddle propaganda and start convincing more of these people who happen to be less educated, the ones that are less educated, not all of them, but the ones that are less educated, less informed, are able to like hear that message and go, yeah, whatever, they're the same. Or somebody who's white and just doesn't have a dog in the fight and is like, yeah, whatever, they're the same. It's like a moral superiority, like, oh, I don't have a dog in this fight, I'm neither one, they're both bad. No, that doesn't absolve you of responsibility. So own your vote. Like, the other thing I wanted to mention here too, because a lot of people talk about horseshoe theory. So these sides, if you brought them together, there's a lot of overlap there. Both these fringe areas feel super disenfranchised, super unheard. But the problem is you're basically like willing to take the rest of the center mass, the rest of the entire spectrum, and hold them hostage. Like, and there's been tons of leftists, the mad, really upset Bernie bros from 2016. There is a huge pipeline from mad, upset Bernie bros to MAGA, voting for Donald Trump MAGA. And that kind of tells you everything you need to know here. So just wanted to summarize this. Blue MAGA. I just told you all the reasons why. And there's a lot more too, but you've only got 10 minutes in this one. And then not blue MAGA. Some of these guys you can consider blue MAGA. I mean, they're just Republicans wearing, like I said, the whole, oh, I don't like either of them. It's a cop out, in my opinion. Because at this point, either you're for fascism or you're not. You're either for kitty diddlers and child rapists or you're not. Like, you can't give me both sides are the same in that respect. And right now, that's what we're fighting. Unfortunately, we've got to dig out of that hole now before we can start concentrating on all the little bits and bobs and issues that you guys feel unheard on. And we got to fix the major ones first now before we go back and do the little ones. So, and honestly, we can thank you talking a lot of these people into staying home last year or voting third party for that. So you guys actually have shot yourselves in the foot. And instead of coming to terms with that and sitting with those uncomfortable feelings, you're doubling down from 2024 and calling the rest of this blue MAGA and fuck you guys. And you guys are the ones that made us do this. No, look what you made me do is a classic abuser response. Grow up and take some accountability.
Let me tell you something. As a black conservative woman who is pro-America, who is pro-Trump, who is pro-MAGA, who is ultra-MAGA, okay? Who is a patriot who loves his country, who is pro-ICE, who is a Republican, a proud Republican, and who is a child of God first, above all those things. The best decision that I made, aligning myself with the right, was the safe and best choice I ever made. Because right now, being a black woman in this country, in this climate, aligning yourself with the left is very risky. It's some risky business. Aligning with the right, I've gained more and I've gained so much. Most important thing is I've gained loyalty. People on the right have been so loyal to me. People on the right have protected me more than anybody who has been on the left have ever done. Why do you think Nikki switched and showed who she truly wants to align with? She came on the right side. Have you noticed ever since she aligned herself with Trump and now she's truly aligned herself on the right? Nobody was fucking with her. She's got so much protection. Do you think Trump is going to let anything happen to Nikki right now? After all of this, that's why she risked it all. Let me tell you, she has risked it all. That's why she's exposing She's telling everybody about what's going on in Hollywood. She's exposing the true evil corruption that is going on with Hollywood and how demonic that institution is. And that's why she is risking it all. She doesn't give two fucks about the millions of followers who have unfollowed her. Do you think she cares about that when she has the Trump machine behind her and in front of her? Do you think she cares? Oh no. And if anything, she has gained new profound respect from a lot of people. She's gained so much more. But as a black woman, you're better off being on the right. There's so much protection. We are heavily protected because the left, they are loose cannons. They will sell us out as black women. They will sell us out big time. Throw us under the bus. We'll be left high and dry and we'll be denigrated to zero. Because you've seen what's going on right now with the left. Everything's going out of control. They are so unhinged. It's chaotic. It's organized chaos on the left. And it's not a safe time for black women right now to align themselves with the left. You will be left hanging. So do yourself a favor. Jump ship while you can. I have zero regrets because I know that I am in a safe place. I'm in a sound place. Being on the right has given me a sense of peace. It's given me a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning. And most importantly, I have gained so much camaraderie with people on the right of all shades of races, cultural backgrounds and all. We are unified. We are one unit. I don't ever have to worry about, people trying to harm me being on the right. I've gained so much with my MAGA family. My God. Shit. Talk about family. I've gained more than an extended family with my MAGA family. Oh my gosh. The list is endless. The love is unconditional over there. And I love it. I love it. No regrets.
Same cookout, different political playlists, and somehow no one agrees on the music. On one side, you've got Black Americans aligned with MAGA, emphasizing entrepreneurship, law and order, faith, border security, and what they call results over rhetoric. They argue economic opportunity, business growth, and cultural conservatism deserve more attention than political loyalty. On the other side, black voters on the political left focus heavily on systemic inequality, voting rights, criminal justice reform, healthcare access, and social safety nets. They argue policy must directly address historical disparities and structural barriers. So, where's the disconnect? It's not lived experience. Both groups navigate many of the same realities: economic pressure, public safety concerns, education gaps, and generational wealth struggles. The divide often comes down to solutions. One side says, empower individuals, lower taxes, strengthen policing. The other side says, address systems, expand programs, reform institutions. Same problems, different prescriptions. And let's be honest, social media isn't exactly helping. Algorithms reward outrage, not nuance. So instead of debates, we get digital boxing matches. But here's the real question: is disagreement the same thing as disrespect? Because political diversity inside any community isn't new. What's new is how loud and visible it's become. Can there be more common ground? Possibly economic growth, safety neighborhoods, quality education, and stable families and partisan dreams. The shared goals. The tension lies in how to get there. And maybe, just maybe, the path forward isn't pretending one side doesn't exist, but recognizing both care deeply about outcomes. even if their strategies clash. So, global family, let's talk. Is this divide widening or just more visible? Are these policies disagreements or identity battles? Can mutual respect survive in a polarized climate? And most importantly, are we listening to understand or just to win? Please drop your thoughts below respectfully. This is Global Info with T, where conversations beat cancellation. Let's subscribe, share, and to everyone whose video will be used for this analysis, please, your credit is being given to you. Thank you for doing what you do. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share because bridge building, that's revolutionary. We need to build a bridge where everyone is the benefits of a good governance. Please subscribe and thank you.